to the Naughty Nitwits.
I'm Michelle.
I'm Leslie.
I'm going to throw out there like Carie does on hers. It's July something, 16th of 2023.
16th, yeah. Tomorrow's my youngest daughter's 1-year anniversary, wedding anniversary.
I was thinking that we were approaching those.
Isn't that crazy?
And so did she get married before Keely?
Yep.
Okay.
2 weeks before.
Obviously, because, yeah. I mean, I knew one of them was first.
Yeah. Emmy was first.
Okay.
And then Keely 2 weeks later, so yeah.
A year
Crazy.
ago. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
It's gone by so fast.
Yeah, it has.
So fast.
Are you and the couples celebrating in any way?
I don't know. I think they both work.
Spending their first anniversary with their mom and
I mean, probably not. They're working, so I don't know. They had gone to Vegas a couple weeks ago to celebrate Emmy's 20th birthday, and so Emmy was like, I think that might have been our, celebration. You know? They had some nice dinners and massages and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
They did fun stuff. So, yeah, they got to go to Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen restaurant.
Oh, yeah,
so
cool.
They said the food was really, really good. So they had fun.
Michael and I have never celebrated one of our anniversaries.
I don't think we really have either.
Yeah.
We never do anything.
Oh.
Sometimes we'll forget.
We've forgotten.
Yeah. Well, it's December 1st. And so I always tell young people when they're going to get married, do not get married in December. Because you're always broke. You're always thinking of Christmas coming. So you never celebrate. Okay. And people used to tell me all the time, well, celebrate like you're six, halfway through the year, like in June. I'm like, no, you're not thinking about your anniversary.
And who does that? And besides that, I don't know, I'd have to think about you guys. But for us, we have that stretch on the other side of the year that's just birthday after birthday after birthday.
Yep.
So, and then you've got the Mother's Day, the Father's Day, the...
Everything.
Yeah. We got our anniversary is October 5th, and he wasn't a hunter when we got married, but we had several years where that was in hunting season. Yeah. It doesn't matter because we weren't going to do anything anyway.
Right.
But it sounds good to complain about. Totally. My husband's gone on our anniversary hunting.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
fun times.
So
hopefully you guys are staying cool where you're at. We've had some hot weather here.
Hotter for Leslie, definitely, because anything over like 70 for me is definitely hot.
Too hot,
you know. But I know I can't complain, and so I'm not talking to some of our friends on here that are on the East Coast.
I know.
And not only so, there's the heat, which is bad enough.
Yes,
right there. And then you add that humidity.
Oh, I was going to say the bugs, too.
Oh, the bugs are a whole other story.
Bad too.
You've got the humidity, the bugs. Then they've had these thunderstorms, so they've lost their power. I mean, it's just been a nightmare.
Yeah, my cousin lives in Kentucky, and they had a tornado come through. And they just had their house built, and windows were busted out. The hail damage that came, I think, before the tornado damaged their vehicles. Like, a total bummer. I mean, it was bad. There was huge damage to their trucks. So now they're having to get, their house fixed after just moving in months ago. So it's just crazy. Thankfully, everybody was okay, but it was scary for sure.
So we're hot and sweating, but
we can't complain.
Can't really truly complain about any of that.
And I don't know about you, but it's funny. I remember when I was younger, like I anticipated each season changing because I really was looking forward to it. Like, I can't wait till fall.
When you say younger, do you mean like in your 30s or
probably,
your 20s?
Probably
when
30s.
You were 15?
Well, I think my whole life up until probably maybe 2 years ago. I think I always couldn't.
And now what?
Now I'm just so appreciative of summer. Like the warm temperature. I'm like, the sun.
Yeah, you've changed.
Yeah.
You've changed in so many ways, and now you like the sun.
But I feel like time.
What happened to my fall-loving friend?
No, I still love fall, but I just feel like time goes by so fast, and I feel like the older we get, the more time seems like it's going faster. So I feel like each season I'm embracing it more. Okay. I'm enjoying it more instead of looking for the next one to come. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm just kind of going, I'm going to enjoy this warmth right now because fall is coming, and I love fall too, but like I'm just going to embrace the season I'm in and not be like, can't wait for the next one,
Yeah, I'm with you, except when it's hot.
Yeah, I mean, I have my limits. I don't like 100-degree
We don't have central air anymore.
You don't? Your house feels pretty good.
It does. We've got the one, what do you call it? It's not in a window, but it's like a portable, so it still has to go out the window. Okay. It's got the hose that goes out the window.
Yeah.
And our house after a certain point, the sun's not on it.
Yeah.
And typically we get that nice ocean breeze up here, so we can open windows and but the last couple of days there hasn't even been a good breeze.
Yeah.
So
we had quite a breeze last night. Like
Did you?
It was crazy. I mean, the trees were rustling, and so it was tolerable because you
get the air moving,
airflow, but
it's nice to have that.
Yeah, for sure. So
Well, we hope you guys are all doing good in spite of all the things.
Yeah, life.
All the things.
It covers a lot of things.
I'm just keeping it vague.
Whatever thing you're
vague
going
is
through.
Better sometimes. Just
don't
know
be
that
specific.
our heart is with you, and
you'll get through it.
yeah. Well, we hope. Sometimes you don't. I mean,
That's true. Sometimes you just endure it.
Yeah, exactly. Buckle down and brace for the storm. What tomorrow brings?
Happy note.
Well, you know how you talk about just embracing the season. That's true about all of the seasons that we're in life. Whether you're talking about the weather or
some seasons suck more than others, So I finally finished my What Tomorrow Brings by Telly Bean Knits.
We're all very excited about this.
Me too. It's funny though.
I feel like we've grown up with
you
this.
have. You've been with me for a long time.
Yes.
So I finished it very shortly after our last podcast. So it's just been sitting on my dresser.
And because it has been a while since we did this. Yeah, there it is. Off the needles.
Yes. So I didn't aggressively block it. I don't know. I'm such a lazy blocker anymore. I just wash it and drape it over a chair. So I mean, I didn't pin it out. I didn't,
Yeah,
that's probably why the little thing is here from the chair. When it's hanging over the chair. It'll be fine.
You don't have a clothes steamer, do you?
I do. I do. Well, I have no excuse.
Okay.
I even have things to hang outside, like a clothesline that I can hang. But I feel like it puckers because you can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't really get a straight. So when I used to pin out things and really block them,
some things you don't really need to do that with. Like I wouldn't even think you need to do that with this unless you don't like how it dried.
Yeah, I think it's fine. And when it's wrapped around your neck or your shoulders, nobody's going to see any kind of creases or anything like that. So it's fine. But yeah, it was fun. I have a couple ends still to clip. That one came out when I washed.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, so anyway, it was a very fun knit, like I've said a million times. It was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. It just took me forever because it just did. I don't know why.
All right, well, I'm glad you're happy with it. That's all that matters.
I'm happy with it. Will I wear it? I don't know. Who knows?
Always beside the point.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's so funny how much I do enjoy knitting shawls, even though
I know.
only wear a few of them.
I just concluded that the other day. I was like, I don't normally wear them.
Yeah.
But I don't normally wear most of what I've knit.
Yeah, but they're still fun.
It's fun to do.
And
we're not knitting to clothe ourselves. We're knitting because we enjoy knitting. So
we have other options.
Why get hung up on if you're going to use it or not?
That's true.
I tried to go down that route of let's do a hobby that you can do things that you use, and that was my sewing class.
And how's that going for you? Are you still enrolled?
Nope.
No?
I'm a dropout. I am. I'm a sewing class dropout. And before you guys all tell me, stick with it and all that, just mind your own business.
When you know, I feel like, you know what I mean? And if you reach that point.
Because when you're, like, some people were saying, and I do genuinely appreciate the encouragement of stick it out.
Totally.
But I will still try to sew. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do a quilt class at this level of my beginnerness.
Yeah,
you know?
All right. Okay.
So the first and only day of my sewing class, I didn't have the right bobbins in the machine. I didn't know how to, do the bobbin thing. I didn't know how to thread the needle. So right there, I learned a couple things. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I got my money's worth.
You did.
I learned.
You did.
That's all I really wanted to do was know how to do that.
That's right.
So mission accomplished. I was there like 5 hours. For one thing, the class started at 10:30. I got there before 10 because I thought it started at 10 and I wanted to be on time.
Overachiever.
That's me. and oh my gosh, it just went on and on and on.
Do you feel like those classes are too long?
Yes.
I always feel like they're too long because I get to a mental place where I'm just like, I can't handle any more information. If you give me one more thing, I'm just going to scream.
And it wasn't even the volume of information. It was the volume of
incompetency.
Oh, there's that.
No, I mean just feeling like a failure for 5 hours. Like that's how I would feel.
There was just so much tedious work.
Yeah.
And I just needed a break from it, you know, and my back was killing me. But I never even went to the bathroom the whole time, which I didn't even realize when we got done. I was like, oh, I'm going to use your bathroom before I try to make it home.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I was impressed that you didn't use it at all, because the teacher got to use it. And I'm like, I'm the one who usually can't go an hour without a bathroom. That's how stressed I was. I was just so focused on all this stuff, and I was the only person in the class, so that's like ideal learning conditions, really, except that then it's like she's just waiting for you to do whatever you're supposed to be doing. And some of it went fine, but what really, so this was the one that I did in class.
Pretty.
And so then my homework was to do 7 more of these before my next class.
I'm already exhausted.
I know. So I got all the cutting done. And then, you know, you do this, like half of the stuff was already sewn together. And then, so I was sewing like this strip to this strip. So that's where it starts, right?
Okay.
And I tried probably 6 or 7 times to do it, and none of my corners were matching up.
Yeah.
So I'd rip it out and do it again, rip it out, do it again. And after you do that multiple times, well, it actually never started being fun, but like it got further and further away from fun every time I was having to rip it out. So I thought, when I learned how to knit, I didn't just know how to knit, but it was fun learning. Right. You know, sure, there were frustrating moments, but it was at least fun as I was learning. And same with crochet. This has not been fun at all.
Do you think this craft is something where you just embrace the sock and know that it's going to look like crap your first 5 quilts, and then as you go it's going to look better, and you just have to, like your straight lines, if you should have just gone, it's okay, I'm going to keep going?
Oh, sure, I could say that, but the teacher wouldn't have.
Teacher wouldn't have. See, that's the thing. I'm almost thinking like you just have to go, no, this was my first quilt. Tons of mistakes.
No, and that was one of the things with some of these. On my first one, she's like, and I'm not dogging her.
Right.
They want you to be successful.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's like, well, I'll go ahead and say this is okay, but if it was the other teacher, she wouldn't.
Oh my gosh, wow.
And I said, well, if it was the other teacher, we'd be done already.
Totally.
Then, because this is as good as it's ever going to get at this point in my sewing.
That's good.
Someone had mentioned on my Instagram post or something when I was, you know, whining about this, that there are quilts that are called scrappy quilts, and nothing needs to match up.
Exactly.
So that's I'm not giving up sewing overall.
Right.
But this is going to have to wait a while until I've done a little more sewing.
Yeah.
Because it's just, it was a nightmare.
Well, it's probably like knitting. If you start out knitting a sweater, your first project, instead of just a washcloth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to start as basic it goes, you know? Maybe some people are fine with starting off with that.
Yeah, maybe people that have sewn before.
Yeah.
And, like, really, when I said I was a beginner, I wasn't kidding.
Yeah.
It wasn't false modesty. It was like, really. But the only reason I signed up for that class was because that was the class that was available. And they told me, because I had called, I didn't present myself as someone who knew what they were doing. I said, I don't know what I'm doing at all. I just really wanted to learn how to use my sewing machine. But those learn how to use your sewing machine classes are just if you buy your machine there.
Oh, gotcha.
So I couldn't just take my machine in and say, hey, show me how to do a few things, unless I bought a new machine, which I thought about. But I don't even know that I want to sew. You know, it's like I already spent a couple $100s on the mat and the cutter and the this and the that. And so I feel like I'm in it enough.
Yeah.
And and I've got friends who sew who have offered to help me, and actually a nice gal, Ginger Snaps is all that's coming to mind. She has an Etsy shop, and she sent a little video tutorial on how to do something, you know, simple. And I feel like now that I know how to wind the bobbin and thread the machine and sew a seam, I feel like, okay, I can do a little bit more. I could do one of those simple tutorials. Before I signed up for that class, I'd watched a few sewing tutorials, and I was just like, I don't even know what they're talking about. I can't even get there from here. So, you know, I feel like I can do a little something now.
Definitely.
For now, I've put the sewing machine away. I just wanted it kind of out of my sight for a while.
And it's like a knitting project.
We'll come back to it.
Put in time out
for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't regret, like, thinking that I still see it as a potential thing that I might do. But I love quilts. I absolutely love quilts. But I don't need to make any right now. That wasn't my goal. That's not what I wanted. So I don't feel like a real failure for dropping out. And I don't feel bad at all for, you know, it canceling the class. It's not hurting anybody else because I was the only person in there. So
No, and sometimes you have to do those things to see if you like it or not, to see if you're gonna, and that's why it's like with spinning, I'm not ready to give up spinning completely, because when I do it, I do enjoy it. And so it's like, I know that it's something that, given I had more time, I would definitely do more of it, because I do enjoy it. But it's like, if you do something and it's not bringing you enjoyment.
The actual sewing, like when you put that fabric in there and you press the little foot and it goes, you know, that's kind of fun. But it's when you tediously pin that stuff together, like, I mean, I'm talking hours just to try to get one straight, you know. That's just, that the juice isn't worth the squeeze at that point. It's just, I would much rather work on my Intarsia pillow, you know, something that I enjoy. So, like I said, I think that there's definitely a future attempts at sewing. I'm not writing off the entire hobby. Just, we're taking a break, number one, and that whole, you know, getting all those corners to line up and stuff.
Would it have been easier if the quilt squares would have been bigger than such tiny little ones, especially when you're pinning
I don't know. And some people said the fabric, you know, that fabric really draws your eyes to, I'm sure there's a lot of considerations. You know,
different factors that go into whether you're going to enjoy something or not.
But the bottom line is this was not successful for me, and it wasn't fun. And not only was it not fun, but it was making me want to drink. You know, like,
it's a good sign that it's not for you.
I was like really stressed out, and I was like, this isn't what a hot, like, if I was getting paid money to do this and I was just having to suck it up because this is what I have to do to put food on my table.
You might starve.
I mean, whatever. You know, I would buckle down and I'd try to do it, but this was supposed to be for fun. So, you know, like I said, the fun factor was just never there.
No. Yeah, and it has to be worth, like, the effort. I mean, I remember when I first started knitting and I felt like, am I ever going to get this? Am I ever? But it was like that drive was there because I knew I wanted that end product so bad.
Enjoying some of it along the way.
Yeah.
Not to say there hasn't been frustrating moments with knitting, but nothing like that. And I mean, I've always looked at quilts and stuff and thought, wow, that's, you know, the fact that someone made that's so awesome. But even greater now is my appreciation for what goes into those things when things match up, and because it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy.
I know my mother-in-law, she, you know, is a quilter extraordinaire. She has piles of quilts just waiting for backings because she just quilts all the time, and everyone has one of her quilts, if not 10 of them. And I probably have 8 or 10 of her quilts, and they're amazing. And it's just funny because when Everett was born, so my nephew, not really a relation to her, but she's still known as Granny to him. And Maggie and Gwenny, when they were born, she made them all blankets, quilts. And Everett's now is like in shreds. It's like this big, and he still takes it with him. He's 6, you know, almost 7, and he still takes it with him wherever he goes. But he loves it. She tried even making him a same style, same material, different design, but to try to replace that one, and it still just to him was not the same. But so it's like when they're so well loved like that, it's like but she does beautiful quilts. They're amazing. But she gets excited by it. That's the thing. She loves, you know, all that stuff, and I always admire that because.
And I know it's one of those things, if you stuck with it and you got to that point and you got good at it, then that makes it more enjoyable.
And it becomes more relaxing, and
But like you said, I mean, we all know our kind of our limits or our what we're willing to tolerate for whatever the payoff's going to be, and I mean, at this point, that's just not it. But stay tuned, because I mean, I might have some other pieces of fabric sewn together at some point to show off.
I'm sure you will.
But in the meantime, I showed that I was a guest on Carie, the Creative Obsessions podcast, a few weeks ago. I went down to her house and she was recording, and it was really fun. So some of the things, if you watched that, you might see some repeats here, but what the thing that really stuck with me. So she has this nice setup, you know, she's far more together with all her recording stuff than we've ever been. You know, she's got the little round things back there to deflect light and all this stuff. But what was the bottom line? All I could see was that I really need to get in and I look like a jack-o'-lantern.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
you
because
noticed it?
Oh, big time, because I was sitting on that side of her, and so I was looking at her, and you know, and then you can just see this big gaping hole because I need those implants, and I've had appointments, I've canceled appointments, I've gone to one, it's really stressful, and I know your dad had good experience, and I've talked to other people, but.
It's painful though. It's not like a good experience.
Right. Like the money, I don't even think it's going to be really expensive. I think I need 3. So the money is bad enough, but you know, I mean, it's money and you can't take it with you, and you gotta sometimes, you gotta spend money on responsible. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But what really bothers me is when you, and I won't even Google it. I don't even want the images in my head. But when they start talking about how, you know, it could affect your sinuses, and that totally freaks me out because I already have bad sinuses. I can't breathe through my nose hardly at all. I don't need things getting more messed up. And you get
sinus infections.
I do.
Period, right? Maybe once a year or something, or at least you used to.
Yeah, I used to get them more, but I've got really bad allergies. Like I said, I'm one of those mouth breathers, you know, which I know is a bad thing, but I can't breathe through my nose very well. So I don't need them messing with my sinuses. And then when they start talking about doing bone grafts, and I mean, no, those are all words I don't want to even have floating around in my head. So I've been a total wuss about it. And then when I see myself, you know, on a video where you can just see this big hole and you just think you look like a hillbilly. But to be honest, I could probably live with that. Yeah. Or could you just get one of those? No, those are terrible. Partial? Yeah. That just goes in and take it out? I tried the whole, it was a retainer kind of thing. Yeah. I think it was called a flipper or flapper or something. It was terrible. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I was thinking that would be. So all that aside, if I knew that things were going to stay as they are now and no more deterioration, because they say if you're not chewing over here, it puts more pressure over here. There's just all these things. So there's no good answer. I'm probably just going to have to do it. I just don't want to. I know. You know, I don't blame you. I wish I could go back to when I was 16, 17 and not really taking good care of my teeth so that I wouldn't have had. But I mean, you can't do that. So just kind of got to deal in reality. So anyway, that was my takeaway from the video of recording. But it was fun. But again, I did show these already, so I apologize. But excuse me. These are my Maybe Baby DK socks. The pattern's by Cozy Up Knits. Yeah, I've said this and struggled with it every time. I think it's the Cozy Up Knits. I think is their name. That sounds right. It's either Cozy Knits or Cozy Up. It might just be. I don't know where the up comes from if it's not in there, but I have it, so I can tell you for sure. But anyway, and this was Knit Circus yarn, and so very pretty. Those are very done. Warm. And they're cozy. I like them. Yes, very nice. Well, that was my only finished object, but I've worked on this one especially. This is the by Petite Knit, the Sophie shawl. So I've done the Sophie. I've done the Sophie. I just love this yarn. I do too. I've done the Sophie handkerchief or whatever. Yeah, the little one. You know. So this is the actual shawl. Okay. It's called a shawl. I forgot you were doing that. But I know. But to me, it's more of a. I would say it's more of a. Oh my gosh, brain fart. A scarf. I think it's more of a scarf than a shawl. Okay. Because it's very narrow. Yeah, it's not super duper wide. Boy, this wool folk. That's not wool folk though. It is. No, that's wool folk. Okay. This is not wool folk. Wait a second. What are you telling me here? This is actually, and I probably didn't bring it with me. Oh wait, hopefully this is the tag. This is that Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca Blend. Worsted weight. I love this stuff. And I bought a while back a sweater's quantity of it because it is so soft. Well, what's this for then? That's for a hat. I wanted it.
But yeah, that was my first purchase of 2023, I think, of yarn. So yeah, but anyway, so
well, it looks like you're almost done then.
Well, I'm on the decreases now.
Okay.
So you increase only every 6 rows. So you're increasing very slowly. And so now so that's about as wide as
this does feel nice though.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's so nice and it's so I
remember when we talked about it before, and I think someone told us that it was like was it like a temporary thing?
I think so. I haven't looked recently to see if
really
they still have it.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
So now I'm decreasing. So I mean that's about as wide as it's going.
Okay. And what weight a yarn is
this? This is worsted.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But I love it. It's fun to knit with. It's a very nice
I have to
yarn.
look into this.
And you don't have to, I love that you don't have to wind it. It just comes like this. So, you know, I hate winding yarn. So.
Nobody loves it. Well, maybe somebody loves it.
Some people might. I don't know. But I just feel like this will be nice and warm and squishy. And
it's very squishy.
But still soft.
And not scratchy.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's the alpaca in it. Yeah. So I'm excited to have this for fall because I love that it's kind of blackish gray. I think it'll go with
everything.
And yeah, it'll be fun. So I've been just knitting on this because it's super easy.
Dang it, Michelle.
It's only every 6 rows that you have to now decrease 1 stitch. So I have to get it. It's good TV knitting.
Yes,
you know,
and that is ideal because we have to be able to focus.
Definitely. But yeah, it's a fun pattern. The handkerchief one, or whatever you want to call it, that was fun too. That definitely didn't take very long at all. This is very similar to that, just obviously bigger. But yeah, and it has that I-cord edging, which I think is so pretty too.
So it was an I-cord cast on?
I think so.
My Grannies in a Row. Is that? I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Grannies in a Row by Jen Yard.
Very fun.
Yeah. So you do the little granny squares, and then you pick up stitches to do your cuff. You pick up stitches to go. So I did a cuff down sock, which I haven't done in forever, and it ended up longer. Like I don't wear socks that come up this high very much.
Yeah.
But because this was so wide, and I don't like how it fits.
Really.
So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to give it one more try and do these little granny squares. I'm going to try to do even smaller.
Okay.
And then just have it be like a shorty sock.
Okay.
But these are going to have to be a lot smaller.
Yeah. So you won't finish the second one of these?
I don't think there's any point.
Yeah.
I don't like how it fits.
Can you rip it out?
I'll keep it hanging on my wall with my other one socks that I've done. Because I think it's cute.
It is super cute.
And this yarn down here is, I think it's called Rainbow Trout by Artistic Yarn by Abby. So it's fun, and I have plenty of it left to do shorty. I could easily do.
Good.
And so if I can't get the little granny squares, I know I can make them smaller.
Definitely.
I mean, I think I can make it work. I don't know how motivated I am to do it right now.
Yeah,
it might be something that I pick up again after a while. But, I loved the idea.
Very cool. Yeah.
I just think that I made my granny squares too big.
Yeah.
So.
Which understandable. It's hard to know exactly what your gauge is with a crochet hook versus a knitting needle.
And the pattern tells you what you're shooting for.
Okay.
As far as size of and I knew that they were a little bit big. But I thought, well, that's okay.
Yeah. Well, and you prefer them on your calf, especially if they're going to be taller, to be not strangling your leg.
And that's what I was thinking, is if I'm going to have it, up my leg, I need it to fit.
Yeah.
But it's too, even with the ribbing, it's too slouchy. So they kind of come down, which isn't even that big a deal. I just don't like them. I just don't like how they fit.
Does crochet stretch as much as knitting does or not?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of stretchy. Yeah. It seems pretty stretchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think probably the answer to that would be no.
Not as much as knitting.
Mine does.
Yeah, yours does. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's got some good give.
I probably just did it too loose.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a fun pattern.
It's totally cute. I think it's a great idea. Like, I think that's cool to incorporate crochet and knitting together. That's
definitely.
Fun.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. Yeah.
There's been some really cute ones. Let's see. Here's the
so cute. Yeah, that's really cute.
So there's and I've seen other people do shorties with them. So
definitely,
I think that's definitely a good way to go
for sure. For sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Okay.
Well, and then the last thing I've been working on is my everyday.
Oh yeah, your everyday pullover.
Daily pullover.
Oh, daily pullover.
I always want to call it every day. Daily pullover by Pearl Soho. And I got to the point where I'm ready to bind off down at the bottom. But like I told Michelle, it's a tubular bind off. And so I've never done a tubular bind off, I don't think, on that much of a circumference, that big. And so it kind of makes me nervous because I feel like it's one of those things where I'm not great at it. So I feel like I'm going to need to sit and like really just like
think about it,
2 hours to it. I mean, I don't know how long to, to figure.
Well, you were going to do the sleeves.
So I was thinking about, Michelle and I were talking about it, and I said, maybe I'll just leave this like that on the needles or put stoppers on it, obviously, and then just pick up for the sleeves, start doing the sleeves, do the collar, and then come back. Because that way I'll have practice on the tubular bind off on the cuff of the arms, which is a smaller circumference, and I can get good at it and feel confident and kind of judge how long it would take me, and then battle the bottom. So I also thought I could be lazy and just bind off normal. Like I would
you could if you end up not liking it, but I think just judging on doing that cast on, it's so awesome.
No, I know, and everybody says that once they do it, they're like, "Oh, it's so
I'm
pretty."
Gonna reach and grab this.
Yeah, go for it. So people always really like it.
I think
it does look very pretty.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited for this sweater. I'm excited to get it done for fall. So I think I'll probably wear the heck out of it. I think I'll really like it. So anyway, and again, that's Pearl Soho's yarn, and I am doing the Juniper green as the color I'm doing. Oops, that one came undone. But so that's Pearl Soho. I think it's a really pretty green.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
This is their linen quill.
Oh, of course.
That I love so much, of course.
That's all you had to say.
That's right.
Was linen quill.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. So I think I will pick up for the sleeves. I don't hate doing sleeves, so I think it'll be fine. I like the yarn. I like, and I'll feel accomplished if I feel like both arms are done. I don't know. Arms
totally
tend to take a long time, or you think they do, and
they sure do me.
Yeah, and so it just, if I could get through that part, I think everything else will seem like no big deal, So yeah.
I finished my Mesa wrap.
Yeah. So pretty.
So really, all this is a giant rectangle with 2 armholes in the middle.
Nice.
And I think if I was going to want to do something like that again, I would probably just take measurements of where I would want my armholes. Because this pattern, I've complained about it before, it talked about like, do this much grams and then do this armhole, or do the armholes, and then that should leave you whatever. And that just didn't work for me because of whatever reason. And but I do really like the white with the pink.
Yes.
With the assigned pooling was Chick That Knits, and I loved that yarn.
It's beautiful.
And the blue is, I think, Potion Yarns is who that was by. And I liked that. So I really like the idea of this. I'm happy with it. No real complaints. I didn't like the pattern, but I like the idea of the pattern.
Yeah, and the finished object.
And I like the finished object. And I love that whole assigned pooling, doing the little different stitches and stuff.
Cool.
But I think if I was going to try to do another one for that kind of a wrap kind of thing, because I do like that. I like, it's like a shawl with holes for your arms. It stays
on you better, yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't try to follow that pattern. I would just take and figure out.
You probably just measure that one.
I could measure this one, and I would probably put my sleeves up probably 4 inches.
Now, is this the one, can it be worn either way?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does it look the other way?
I haven't done it the other way.
Try it.
I just don't think I'd like it as much.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like, if it really changes the look of...
Yeah, that's true.
Or if it's like, oh, either way is fine. I don't know. Let's see. So that would make this longer? Or no, does that matter? No?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
What it changes?
Yeah. I'd have to stand up and...
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, it does... I mean, just looking at it, because of how I striped my yarn...
Right. Right.
The pattern called for doing garter ridges and stuff in it, which I didn't do because I was doing this whole the assigned pooling thing. So, you know, I like it.
Yeah.
I just don't think you need that pattern to do it. And I think for me personally, I would have been better off not trying to follow that pattern.
Well, because wouldn't it have been, I mean, do you think the pattern was more complicated than it needed to be? Like it was more involved?
Because the whole weighing of yarn, and I don't remember exactly, you know, what the deal was because I disregarded it because I was using... I don't remember. I just know that I didn't really like that aspect of it, and because here's the thing, the way it really affected me was it doesn't tell you inches wise when to start your armholes. It tells you by weight of yarn.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah. So, and that doesn't factor in if you're a loose or tight knitter.
No,
it doesn't factor in your gauge.
No.
Although if you do a gauge, I'm sure they want you to do a gauge swatch. But
I'm sure there's ways around it.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, for me, the way I like to follow a pattern, this wasn't the pattern for me.
Yeah. I agree.
But for some people, that might be the best way ever.
Yeah, they might love it that way. Yeah.
But me, I'd rather know, okay, after you've knit 6 inches, do this.
Me too. Me too. Otherwise, you're going to have a scale by you all the time. Be weighing your yarn all the time.
Yeah,
right?
And different yarn weighs different. You know, I mean, it just...
Yeah. And did you start with a full skein or a partial skein? And then you got to do math.
Yeah. It just wasn't... I didn't love the pattern. I loved the yarn. I loved the assigned pooling.
Yes.
And I like the idea of a big shawl that has armholes. Which, again, do a rectangle with holes in it.
Totally. Make it sound so simple.
Yeah. I think it should have been more simple, to be honest.
Not so complicated.
No.
That's funny. So, well, one pattern I just took out today because I was looking through my basket of all these projects.
It's fun to look through the basket.
It is, because I completely forgot. Yeah. It's amazing how absent from your presence, it's like you forget.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to finish this. This is by Amy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, from forever ago. The wrap, the Holston wrap. It's so pretty.
Darn it, now I have to write something else down.
I know, sorry. So I haven't done any work on it this time because I just grabbed it out this morning. But it made me go, oh my gosh, I want to finish that because I remember enjoying knitting on it. So why have I not touched it?
Because it's so pretty when you look at it.
Beautiful.
It's like, wow, that's really pretty.
It's so soft. And
is that P-O-L?
P-O-L, I think so. P-O-L-E?
Is it P-O-U?
P-O-L-E.
Okay.
S-D-E-N.
S-D-E-N.
Yeah, and it's a scarf or a wrap, and I'm doing the wrap. So if you don't want to do this big of a version, you can do the scarf. But yeah, so it's so soft.
And these were your advents from her 1 year, right?
Yes, from a couple years ago. And some from I think this last year too, because I think I just kind of been picking whatever I like. And I mean, all of hers I like, but I have a couple more in here that are just waiting. They're so pretty. So yeah, I want to pick this up because I feel like the scarf is fun, but it takes it's black. You're just knitting.
It's nice to get that color.
It's nice to get that color, and they're both very soft yarns, but I don't know. I could see myself wrapping up in this in the fall and winter, definitely, because it's so soft, and I do that a lot with wraps. It's funny, I won't necessarily wear them out of the house, but like last night I was cold because we had the ceiling fan going and the air conditioning on, you know, and so I grabbed my crochet blanket, you know, my whatever one we did, and wrapped it around my shoulders, and it was perfect because it's holey enough to where you're not too hot. You know, there's some airflow still going on, but it just takes that chill off, you know.
So, I remember when we had central air, what it was like to have it so cold with the air on.
Yeah.
That we were always cold in our house.
Yeah. It was just with that fan going, it just made it a little bit chilly, but having that on made it nice.
What have I done?
Oh boy.
Okay, that needs to go back on there. What have I done? Did I?
Did something come apart?
I stopped. Okay. I stopped not being done. Okay. Which you just shouldn't do, especially on something as small as this. Like my this one. what is this one called? This is the, it's a Stephen West blanket, building blocks. This row is super long. So sometimes if I have to stop in the middle of it, that's acceptable.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
But the other one that I just had the issue with, that there's no good reason to stop in the middle. But anyway, so I will go ahead and show this. This is the building blocks. I think, that's the, anyway. This is fun because it's a DK weight. I'm mostly doubling fingering.
Oh, okay. Nice.
And there are sections of it that are brioche, and so when I get to those, I'll use DK to make it easier. But it's so fun using. That's what's fun about the crochet blankets and stuff, is just changing your colors constantly.
Totally.
And then I like this one because there are different sections of stitches, so it's not just it's not just garter, it's not just stockinette. It's there's stuff going on with it. So
that's cool.
This is, I'm in for the long haul. There's no hurry with it. It's just fun to do.
Yeah.
So
that'll be beautiful. That'll be fun.
It'll be a nice blanket when it's done.
Definitely. I need to bind off my crochet one, that huge one. Remember I always joke about it. So it's like, when are you going to be done with that? Because it's already huge, but I just keep going because it's just fun to crochet on. But and then start another one.
You can start another one.
I should finish it. I gave Maggie and Gwenny a couple of my crochet blankets the other day. So
I bet they love it.
Yeah, I think so. Hopefully. But it's fun. They'll use it more than I will. So
exactly.
That's beautiful.
I will get to that, I know.
Yeah.
So do you have another whip?
Nope. I'm trying to focus on just a couple things so I can actually accomplish something. So.
Well, Leslie had gifted me a Barnyard Knits gift card for my birthday, so I had bought this. I was gonna wait, till I something came up that I was like, oh, I need that. But I had just been thinking about her heavenly base, that cashmere silk alpaca, and thinking, oh, I sure loved that base. And then she had some in these colorways. This is pheasant and cedar.
Oh wow!
And they go really good together.
Yeah, they do.
So I was like, I'm gonna get those, and I'm gonna do something with those. So I looked at a bunch of different patterns, and I had decided on this. This is Vetus by Lisa Much, which I think is NBK Knitting. I think is her. Go back the other way. There we go. Okay.
Did I knit that? It sounds familiar, the name, but I don't know. The picture sounds familiar. How do you spell it?
Vitis.
Maybe not. I don't know.
So I started it with those colors, and I started it with this gray and with this, which is the same base, but this particular one I think was from Amy from Dandelion Dogwood from a long time ago. And I was doing these because I realized that this pattern to me needed, excuse me, for what I like, I wanted to have a heavy contrast.
Yeah.
Whereas these two are they're very complementary, but there's no contrast there.
Yes.
So I started with these two, and it just wasn't doing it for me.
Okay.
So I ended up, this one was a Barnyard Knits, same base, but in lace weight.
Okay, I was going to say it looked a little bit lace weight. Okay.
Kim from Barnyard had given me this a few years ago. And it's just beautiful. It's blue with a light sparkle, and it's just that lovely base. So anyway, I ultimately decided on the blue and the gray, and I love it. But this is the thing I was saying. There's no reason for me to have stopped.
So are you doubling the lace?
I'm doubling the lace. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can.
It's pretty. It definitely has more contrast, like you're saying.
It has the
perfect contrast.
Perfect contrast.
Yeah, it's just enough.
And it's going to be, I went down a needle size. I'm using a 6. I think the pattern called for a 7. But feel how nice that's going to be.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So it's already a narrow,
that's going to be
narrow type wrap. But I think with this yarn, it's going to be even more narrow. So it's going to be more like a cowl type thing that I can just wrap around a few times, which I actually do use during the winter.
Yes.
So
that's really pretty.
I love it.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous. It's just, I don't know why I stopped. I don't know what kind of excuse I could have, what kind of emergency.
What was the last shawl you've knit on?
Oh, I don't even know.
So I'm like, I don't know if I remembered you knitting on a shawl in the.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
it's been. I think. Okay, the last one I did was that Stephen West one.
Oh yes.
that you had done.
Yes.
And you really liked it.
Photography.
Yeah, and it had some weird name.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just, maybe that's one that kind of
Burned you a little bit.
burned me out a little bit, even though it was fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't pay attention to whether you guys could actually see this or not because I was so busy looking at it, but
and feeling it.
Yes, I love how it feels.
Very soft.
So
just what you want around your neck, you know. I mean, totally.
Gosh, yeah.
Feels really nice.
And you know, for me, you can't go wrong with these colors. But once I got it like started, I don't know why, but Paw Patrol kept coming to mind.
Really?
You know, the main dog.
Yeah.
And this is from when Tony was a baby.
Yeah,
You know, so this is a while ago. But I don't know.
You don't watch Paw Patrol anymore?
Patrol, be there on the double.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yep.
So, anyhow. What is that dog's name?
I don't know.
The main guy.
I know.
I'm going to have to look it up. It's going to drive me nuts.
Used to watch it with Ev,
Yeah.
but I don't remember. Yeah.
So there's that.
How fun. Very cute.
I showed those. Okay. I just have do you have anything do you want to talk about your job?
No, I mean, I just got a new job. So, yeah. I work in the shipping department of a company. They're kind of secretive about stuff, so I can't say.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they do government type stuff.
Oh.
But, so anyway, it's been good. It's very, very physical, and I don't love the hours. I work 9 to 5:30 now, so I feel like I had to cancel my dentist appointment for tomorrow because they're only open till 5. You know, most places close at 5. So that's the part that kind of stinks. I prefer to start earlier in the morning and just get done with my day. Yeah. And then when I get home, I'm still...
because you were getting off
I used to get off at 2:30.
Yeah.
And so I would think I have, the whole rest of the day. The good thing is, I can stay up as late as I want because I can sleep in. I don't even set my alarm because I'm like, I'll get up. I usually always get up at 5 or 6 anyway, just naturally. So I can lounge around for the morning, but I don't really like that. But
no, because you don't feel like you can't get into too much.
Right, you can't. And nothing's really open yet.
Right.
But I'm the only girl in the shipping department, so that's a little weird. I wish there was, a girl or two. It'd be nice. I mean, there's girls in the department next to me, but nobody that I take breaks with. There's no girls that I, run into. I don't know. So that's kind of weird,
But one of the advantages here is that you'll have, after you do some time, some opportunity to move around.
Totally. There's lots of opportunity for growth and places to go. The company is large, so there's different plants that I could work at and do different jobs. So yeah, it's definitely not somewhere I'll probably stay forever, but it's a good job. So it's good. But yeah, but it's very physical. So, I thought my last job was physical. This is just different. You have to bend down a lot, It's not just standing in one spot, assembling a winch, making a winch. It's like, no, you're packaging parts that can weigh different amounts. And yeah, so, but I like it. I don't hate it, but I'm sweating all the time. It's hot.
Is there I know before you had parameters because you were for safety. Do you have to can you wear shorts?
Can't wear shorts. Basic, just safety goggles, gloves, have to wear gloves. But yeah, other than that, that's it, I think. Yeah. Okay. So it's not super loud. That's so good. It's nice. It's a chill environment. Everybody's super nice and friendly. And
how, you're the only girl, but of how many? How many are in your
15,
area?
Probably. Okay. So, yeah. But everybody's been very nice and, so it's been fine. But yeah.
Can you have your earbuds in and listen to anything? Oh, okay.
They usually play music pretty loud, so that's good. I do wish I could wear something to where I could listen to music or something, just kind of
your
zone
own
out.
Stuff.
But it's fine. They play country for the most part, so it's fine. Okay. It's all good. But yeah, so this last week was my first week, so it was fine. But yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me show. Okay, so this is the the Chit Chat Cowl by Chit Chat Knits. Okay, so that's what her pattern looks like. I knit one and gave it to Carie. There's that. And I love the pattern. And this yarn was by Kirby Werby Yarns. It was, a really fun and bright. But once I started it, when I got that first part going, I was like, I will never wear this. I will not wear a big bright rainbow around my neck. So, but I thought Carie will.
Yeah,
Carie will.
Totally.
So anyway, when I was on her podcast, we thought, let's do a knit along. So Carie got that all going. So if you want to participate in this chit chat cowl, we are doing a knit along. And Carie made this hashtag that apparently everyone can access, but me, I've been blocked out of it. The knit chat cowl.
Wow.
I know, that's a mouthful. But anyway, I started another one. I actually started another one before this using Halloween colors. See if I have oh, there we go. I thought that would be really fun because I don't have any Halloween accessories.
Yeah.
So I was going to do that one. But the stripes were like not thick enough to make it all the way, so it looked more variegated.
Yeah.
I don't want a variegated one. I want a striped one. That's what's so appealing about this is using your self-striping yarn. So I had this one from, it's a Desert Vista Dye Works.
Nice.
It's Founding Mothers, which I'm not sure is available right now because, she cycles her stuff through. But I had done a shorty sock. And I could have done another shorty sock, but I thought this would be perfect because I'll always wear red, white, and blue. I don't care what time of year it is.
Yeah.
And if this ends up, I didn't use a whole skein when I knit Carie's, but like if for some reason this doesn't end up being enough, I'll just take it out of the sock that I did.
Oh yeah.
Who cares?
Or I was going to say, you've probably got,
I could probably supplement with some other red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
But I really like how that's looking.
Very pretty.
So we'd love to have you join us on that if you want to. And it's a fun cowl how it fits. It just kind of like, it's not, I know you like for warmth them to be more up here, but some of us like them to be more like just an accessory kind of, and that's what this does. It doesn't choke you around your neck. It just kind of comes down. And so, and another knit along that I wanted to mention because I thought it was such a neat thing and I didn't participate. We were a sponsor of it, which is not, I'm going to send them some money for shipping. They did this, I don't know if you've seen it, but it was the Shark Week. The hashtag for it is PIC Shark Challenge. And it ran July 11th through the 18th. And I told them, if you do this again next year, I'll totally get on board because it was, I think, a fun challenge. You had to declare what you were going to cast on the 11th. And you have until the 18th to finish it.
The end of Shark Week.
And if you don't, you have to rip it out.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I know you couldn't do that now, and it's too, like, I was thinking, oh, this cowl would be perfect, but I started too late. And I think you had to tell her that you were going to do it by that date. And I could be wrong about that. But anyway, isn't that fun? That's really throwing down.
Well, and you'd have to make sure you pick something that you could finish in a week. Like a sweater would be probably not.
Oh no, not for.
But
no.
Yeah.
When she was in the planning stages, when she first started, and there's several people that are involved in it, but they first started talking about it. I still had that sewing thing swirling around in my head, and I was like, no. But so by the time I kind of got my head around it, I kind of missed the cutoff for it, but. It was just fun.
Totally.
And so I think, follow the hashtag anyway, because I can't wait to see, not that I wish that on anyone, but I mean, if you had to rip out your project, you'd have a lot of sympathy from a lot of us. They say it's, getting bit by the shark or whatever. So if anyone gets bit by that shark and has to frog their project, you'll have our deepest sympathy, but we want to see it.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Well, and to see if they cast it back on,
I know. What would you do?
Well, if you like it enough, I mean, I
suppose you would.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought it was a very clever idea. And
that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So... All right.
Very cool.
That aside, I've been working on. I think I showed this at your house anyway. This is the chip basket by the Fiber Hustle guys. I just love it. I am doing this using my Row 1 minis as I select them, not like I get a month and I have to use it. But I started this granny. Right now it's a square, but it's going to become a rectangle, and it's going to be this. Yeah, isn't that fun?
Really pretty.
It's at a certain amount, then you do this thing to make it a rectangle. And then when you get it all done, you do granny squares to border it.
Yeah,
I thought that was
cool.
fun.
Oh, I should do that maybe with all my minis the squares that I crocheted up from Amy's.
You could totally do that.
Because that way I'd have a purpose for it. Because right now I'm like, oh, they're just sitting there and they're so pretty.
Oh, that would be fun.
That'd be fun. They'd be small, but I mean, I think that wouldn't matter. You just have to use more of them, right?
Yeah. Or you could, I know we've talked about a lot of things with this, but you could even put them together and then start doing the cluster stitches around it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Anyway, this is by Anne-Marie Bentham, and I don't know if she has like a, you know how sometimes it's the person's name, but then they have another name.
Right.
But it's the Granny Square Blanket, and all of these things will be linked in the show notes down there. But
so fun. That's a nice change on your typical Granny Square. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It changes it up.
Anything.
Or not Granny Square, whatever we call this usually is just a, I don't know what you call it, but that's fun.
It's just fun to do, and again, it's one of those ones it's just so that I have that crochet project going.
Totally.
Because that's fun.
It's always fun and very relaxing. That color is gorgeous.
I know, isn't
my gosh.
I love that. I don't remember who it was by. I know. I wish I knew.
It's really pretty. Wow.
That's the only problem is sometimes you don't keep that little band, and so
I usually don't. And then I hate it 'cause when you crochet or knit with it, and you're like, "It's so pretty. I want that whole thing."
And it might be good that we don't know, because then we'd end up with all these full skeins.
That is true. That is true. That would not be good. Yeah. That would not be good.
So that's that.
So fun.
Oh, it seems like. Oh yeah, no, I showed that. Oh, I have this sock that I kind of want to get done because I had this one done. This little shorty of the heel toe do-si-do, and this is the lollipop yarn. I think it was Psycho Kitty is the name, and I love the colorway. I really liked it when I looked at it online.
Yeah.
And I do like looking at that. I'm like, okay, yeah. But it turns out I find it a little bit boring. You know, like it's fine, but I'm not like, I don't know. It was one of those ones that I think was better online.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it would change colors more often, like looking at this, but then in the sock, you're like, oh, it's a lot of gray.
I know. And it does, it's just that there's such dark changes there. So I mean,
some in there.
It's okay.
It's interesting for sure.
It's okay.
And depending what you knit, who knows what it would look like in something
it probably,
else,
you know what? In hindsight, it would have been a fun cowl. The knit chat, the chit chat cowl. It would have been perfect for that.
That's true.
Which it's not too late. But I'm gonna try to do this.
Yeah.
And one of those pictures that I have, because I have all these pictures to show you guys. Is one of the patterns, and I know you guys, a lot of people have done this, but that A Stitch in Time by Kay Jones blanket. I'm kind of tempted to start one just for self-striping yarn that I have left over from socks, because I have so much. And I was like, well, I'm going to put it here, I'm going to put it there. Self-striping yarn is fun in crochet, but it's different.
It's definitely different, yeah.
And so I love self-striping, and so I'd kind of like to have some that would actually show up striping.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking about that. I haven't bought the pattern yet.
Is that a pattern you can buy? Because I know some of her patterns she only allows Patreons to buy.
I hate that.
I do too.
That's so annoying.
So I don't
Stitch in Time.
That's beautiful.
And
so that's cool. So she's got a really thick border in between there of the whites.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
I like it because you're doing like more bite-sized pieces. Because we've talked about it before. I hate having all those squares.
Yes.
Although, if this is one like those other ones where you're having to pick up a bunch of stitches, I hate doing that. So I haven't decided yet if that's something I want to do.
That almost looks like the one that we used to do, didn't you?
That mitered
so didn't you pick up as you went or something like that, or you could join them as you go?
Yep, and I didn't like that. But that's been a while. So I'm thinking, a lot of these, we've talked about it before, some of these things that you have in your head that you don't like.
Right. You come back to it and it's like,
it's not so bad.
Well, I think your skills hopefully improve and stuff doesn't stress you out as much as it used to.
You definitely hope that that's the end game, but it isn't always.
Yeah, no, sometimes you come back and you're like, that's why I didn't like it.
Exactly.
That's why I don't want to do this project. Yeah.
So then my last project, my last whip to show is my Intarsia pillow. Let me find it is by Sylvia Watts Cherry, and her name on Instagram is With Cherries on Top 2. There's that.
Super cute.
Now mine, I'm doing a lighter blue for the river, and then a darker blue for the river and a lighter blue for the sky instead of the yellow. So when I first saw this, I was thinking it was that stranded color work. And I was thinking this is a perfect project to try to get better at it, because it doesn't have to go over a heel or a head.
Right.
You know, it would be a good practice piece. It's Intarsia. It's not stranded. So this has been
a labor of love.
It's not difficult.
It
takes concentration.
Yes,
It's so much yarn management.
Yes.
And my needles are actually off right now because I'm using them on...
That's how I felt like when I wanted... You remember that book I'd gotten several years ago that had all the mittens and the beautiful patterns?
Were those Intarsia?
Yes. At first I started getting bobbins together of all these colors, and it just was like, oh my gosh. You know, but they're beautiful though.
It's funny.
Looks like a mobile.
It totally does. Yeah. And I was really excited about this till I podcast with Carie, and then she kind of ruined it for me. And I'm going to get over it. Because look at how cute
the little sheep are so cute. They're very cute.
And I don't know if you watched it. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but what she asked was, because I didn't take it, I was just talking about it. Did you put mohair on your sheep to make them furry?
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah, that would have leveled it up 100 times better. But I am not starting this over.
Shove some cotton in it afterwards or something. Some stuffing.
I mean, yeah, that would have been awesome. But I'm not. This took way too much effort on my part.
And can you imagine the mohair stringing it with the white too? That'd be another strand.
That would be a whole nother bobbin hanging down.
Gosh.
So,
but she's the one that quilts amazingly. So coming from her, of course, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah, exactly. She's like, well, why you haven't gotten that far? Why don't you start? I'm like, no, you don't understand this.
I'm not going back.
This is hours.
I'm glad you didn't do that for the shark thing. You would.
Oh gosh, no. I know that I could have done the Chit Chat Cowl.
Yeah, or some socks maybe.
Shorties.
Yeah, shorties.
The thing about the socks, and I love knitting socks. What I've found with that is I knit socks in shorter spurts. Like I don't know if I get bored with it or my hands kind of hurt. Or what the deal is. But like I love knitting socks, but I'm not going to sit down and knit for hours. Even not at a time, because I guess in the evenings it's a couple hours, you know, but I'm up and down a lot doing stuff. But to just sit and work on socks, whereas this, I have to come out. I come to the table out here, and this is what I do. I don't try to I won't listen to a book. I might have some music on, but it can't be anything that I'm really getting into, because I just have to think about
elevator music or something.
Like I said, it's not hard.
No,
it's just
tedious. It's a
bit tedious, but not in the way that makes me want to,
quit. Or gouge your eyeballs out.
Drink alcohol. Or,
that's good.
Alter my state
of
being.
Your scale.
It's now if it doesn't cause me to drink, then it's okay.
You can keep going.
I can keep at it. So funny. It's fun. And so now I'm happy because I've put the sewing machine away. I can bring this back out. I can start to work on it again. And I feel like it's
I feel like that with cross stitch. Like I see people do beautiful cross stitch, like Crazy Sock Lady. She does cross stitch, and I'm like, in my alter ego world, I would totally cross stitch.
Yes,
but I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. Like I look at it, and I'm just
can't.
It's so tiny.
It's so tiny,
and there's counting, and it stresses me. I don't know.
But Carrie's done some neat cross stitching. In fact, I should have brought out. She made me this really cute little cross stitch for my birthday, and I don't mean little like some things when you say, "Oh, she made me this little thing," it's like. But the smaller, the harder.
Totally.
You know? Wow.
Yeah. It's very...
Kill the eyes. Kill the...
Very intricate.
Everything.
But yeah, I would love to do it. I just don't
Yeah. No, I am totally with you on that.
But I will say I was pretty excited. Who knows if this will happen or not. But I was talking to Keely the other day, and she was talking about how she just got the baby bug. But she's like, Mom, I know I can't have, we can't have a kid right now. We're trying to, save up money and all this kind of stuff so she can hopefully stay at home with her kid, And so I got home and I got to thinking, and I texted her. I was like, hey, I know you're feeling kind of like all your friends are having babies and you're, impatient, wanting to have a baby. And I said, I get that. But I said, while you're waiting, why don't you start like knitting or crocheting some things? I said, you could practice your skill, make some cute baby blankets. I said, make a cute little sweater. It's better to learn on small projects when you're first learning. And she used to knit, but years ago, and she never got to that point like we are,
No, but it was her and Renata that started this whole thing. Yes.
And so, anyway, I said, just a suggestion, because I didn't want to like push anything on her. And she texted me back. She was like, Mom, that's a great idea. I think I will do that. She goes, I have friends too that I could gift them to. And I was like, exactly. So then I mentioned it to Emmy. I said, yeah, Keely was saying she's kind of getting the baby bug. And Emmy was like, yeah, I should get back into knitting too. She crocheted, right? She crocheted more. And she was like, yeah, I should do that too, Mom. That's such a good idea. And I was just like,
that would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be so fun. It's my dream world, but I'm not going to tell them that. No, because then they won't do it. But so
I get it, because when I was out with Renata's and she was crocheting those little things.
Oh my gosh!
I should see if she'll send me a picture. Did
she send you the bat yet? Did she do the bat?
No, I think I told her to go ahead and frog the bat.
Oh, frog the bat. Okay.
Because it was the bat that I tried.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the one that she did was really cute.
Totally.
The one that I tried wasn't.
Okay.
It was, had issues.
I thought she was going to finish it for you or
we talked about it.
Okay.
But, all of that's been put on hold for her right now because of work stuff. Yeah. But she was doing great. So
more than I can do that kind of stuff. That's crazy.
Those little animals are really cute.
Oh, so cute.
She did me a really cute flamingo. I don't know, I totally see the value in doing them. I'm just not there right now.
Yeah. No, ideally, I would love to be able to knit or crochet cute little animals. Yeah. And you'll see Susan B. Anderson. That's not right. Susan.
Well, there is a Susan.
Isn't that her?
Or is it? I think so.
Susan, who does all these creatures. She makes a bunch of animals.
I've seen
I know, and hers are so cute. She'll make sweaters for them and scarves and hats and all these kinds of things. And I just think they'd be the cutest thing. But I have knit. We both knit things before.
You've definitely done more than I have.
They don't turn out great,
a little wonky.
I know it's one of those things where I'm sure if I did it more, it would get better.
Like everything.
It's pretty tedious,
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I just don't like tedious
I
stuff.
don't either. I gotcha. Well, we got our row 1 minis.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, they were such fun colors too. Because they're a dyer that we're well familiar with.
Yes. Candy Shop Yarns. We love her stuff.
And I'll show you right now, or I can show you after we show. There's 2 patterns that I'm picking around. Oh, maybe I guess I only took the picture of the one.
Candy Shop Yarns is one of those that I don't know if she could ever dye a skein that I wouldn't love.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like Amy from Dandelion Dogwood.
They're very fun. These are really fun colors, but to me, they're going to have to be, they're not going to go into that crochet blanket that I'm doing because they're just too, love that.
I know.
In fact, I think I have a mini skein of that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that these are going to have to be socks.
Yeah.
For me. Or I could do a bright blanket. I could just choose brights for a blanket.
Yeah.
Because these colors are just so bright and happy and cheerful.
They are.
They need to be with other bright, happy, cheerful colors.
They get along best together.
Yes.
Well, it's like when I did that one crochet blanket and I chose all pinks and off-whites and stuff. That's my favorite one. And I added mohair to several sections. Yeah. Because it's my favorite. It's my favorite colors, So I feel like that's kind of how these are. It's they kind of just need to be together in something. And
I do have other, I bought a bunch of their mini skeins because they just really were so pretty. So I could do that. But there's these socks and another sock that I really think these would be. I Feel So Lucky by Marta Chapman. They'd be perfect for these bright colors.
Yes.
The only problem I would have with that, and it's not really a problem, is because I don't want to knit them super long.
Right.
So I really would I'd still have some left that could go in a blanket or something.
Definitely. Yeah, you'd still have some scraps.
Or these fairground socks, I think are really fun.
Those are really, really cute. I know, and doesn't Kay from Crazy Sock Lady, I think she has a scrappy pattern, I think. I remember she had a video, I just watched it the other day, on how she, the weave and Steven method, how she weaves as she goes, which I think that's the method I used on a pair of scrappy socks a while back, and they came undone. They had holes.
Yeah.
So it kind of freaks me out. But I'm like, I love the idea of scrappy socks.
I do too.
But I just don't want holes. And I remember they were beautiful socks, and it bummed me out so bad because I think it was Amy's yarn I had used. So I really thought they were beautiful, and I was loving, weaving them in as I go.
I don't know if Kay talks about this, but I think when you do that weave and Steven thing, you still then have to go back and take that end and go back the other direction.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the purpose of it.
I know. That's how I feel.
Maybe I didn't watch the full thing.
Well, and I don't know if she talks about that, but I know when we brought it up before, that's what some people said. And because I experienced that too, not on I think I might have tried it on socks, but on something, and I didn't. And I've done the magic knot on socks, and that's not good either. I think when you do socks, scrappy socks, you just have to old-fashioned weave those ends in.
See, and I've done magic knot, and knock on wood, I've never had something come undone
in a socks.
I think I have.
Okay, because I've had total luck with it on anything except socks.
Okay.
But that's not to. It's a disclaimer is it's me, not the method. It's, but it just didn't work out for me.
Yeah, but it just kind of makes me nervous. But I do want to. I love the idea of the weave and Steven because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so nice.
Yeah.
But if I got to weave it in anyway at the end, it's like
I know. I agree.
We'll wait. Anyway.
Okay, these are just so pretty.
They're beautiful.
Birds of Paradise.
So fun. I think this one's probably my favorite. The Sour Cherry Fizz. Oh, it's just perfect. Pinks and reds.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So pretty together.
Lemon Chiffon Pie. Very pretty.
Elderberry.
I'll do my counterpart to that. Taffy.
All right. It's kind of a Black Cherry. That's really pretty.
That's really pretty.
So pretty.
Oh, what do you think that is? I'll show you guys. Something flip. It's some sort of a flip. CATAWBA.
Catawba?
I guess. I don't know why I'm not at Catawba. I think that's probably right. Catawba. I don't know why that's so hard for me to. I don't either. Yeah. I often have to Google these things. I don't know what it means. Like that little shawl that I'm doing, that Vitus or Vitus. It's like a grape plant or something. It's some sort of plant thing. Which I'm not a plant person, so sugar and spice.
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pomegranate.
Snow cone.
Cream soda. That's a really pretty neutral.
That's a great neutral. Really I love it.
Yeah.
Jumping jelly beans.
Royal ruby.
Oh gosh, circus peanuts. Do you remember eating those as a kid?
Like
so
foam.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
but that is
gross.
exact. I mean, yes, it's really gross.
Root beer barrels.
Oh, that's pretty. That's cute. Can you imagine that?
Aloha.
Pretty. And prickly pear.
Minty sweet. That's really pretty.
That is. So those are super fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So fun. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Love those. They're so fun.
I don't think I showed. So the pattern that I might do these two, getting back to these two.
Oh, yeah.
I think this would be perfect for them.
That's really pretty. Yeah, although it wouldn't be very much contrast.
That's okay, because to me this pattern doesn't scream for contrast. I happen to love the colors that she used here, that blue and coral kind of pink. It's really pretty. But I think it would be, because I really like that bottom part.
Yeah, it's very pretty. Very pretty. Okay, where's that one that you said you'd show later?
Oh, yeah.
Because that one to me was very striking.
Oh, it's so striking. I love it. It's called Simply Chic by Lisa Ross.
Yeah, I think I have to do that one.
I know.
I love that.
It's gorgeous. And there's a couple different places that have...
I love her colors, though. Like, even the colors are like
I know. You got to go... Spun Right Around has a couple different palettes that they put together for a different...
shawl.
And so I don't know that I'd do these for that, because I like you, I really liked those colors. But I thought in my stash, I bet I have colors that would be similar to that. I just like that palette.
Yeah.
And I also liked that one. That seems
I love that one. Yeah, that's the one I would go with.
But that's what I have to do is find these palettes that other people put together and then go to my yarn stash.
Yeah.
Because I have plenty of yarn, but I can't go in and put it together like that.
Oh, okay. So what's that pattern?
Simply Chic.
SHEEK?
Simply and then CHIC.
CHIC, okay.
Isn't that just gorgeous? Mm-hmm. I love it. I love the black and white. Mm-hmm. And I even like the other colors. So this one, I don't know. I mean, would I have to order yarn to do it? I
don't know. Because I feel like I don't know if I have.
Well, when you go on there, because this is just a picture. I just took a screenshot, so I can't click on it to... Yeah. But you have to see what other people have done. But I do think that one... Or
okay, Chic, CHIC?
CHIC.
Yeah, Simply Chic.
Simply CH... Yeah, that's... And it's not coming up? We'll keep going.
I mean, maybe down further.
Yeah. See if there's anything else.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay.
Okay, let's see what else they got.
Yes. Let's see. Oh, those are just... They're just stunning colors. They're very striking.
Yeah, go to projects.
Okay.
No, up. Right above it. A little bit more up. A little more. There.
Projects. I always go down to the bottom to get projects.
I love that one too.
That one's pretty too.
Yes, show that one.
It's funny because they're using the orange too.
I know. Oh, and you know what? That's the one I think I do have colors in my stash. If I have enough in each of them.
Because I feel like there's more solids in this. There is some variegated a little bit, but that's what I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of solids.
Okay.
So I feel like, ooh, you'd like that one.
That's real. Oh my gosh, with the green.
And the green.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a pattern coming up.
I think so.
We got to finish something, and then.
Yes. Oh, thanks.
That one's pretty.
It's very striking. It's just a very.
It's a very striking. And actually, I think that gal, whatever I said her name was,
that designed it, or
that designed it. All right, do you see it? So I'm not.
Lisa Ross. Lisa K. Ross.
Lisa K. I think she also is the pattern designer of that other one that I just showed that I might do these ones. I think that's her pattern.
See, I think this pattern's fun too because it reminds me of this one. Telly Bean knits the What Tomorrow Brings, just because you're changing different stitches, different patterns.
Changing colors.
Changing color. Yes, that's like the best of everything.
That's exactly what we like.
So I like that. But that is just bold. I would have to do black and white in that section.
I think that there is...
I love that. I just think that's so like, wow. Like a pop.
I agree. Whoops.
It's very cool. And it's got some unique looking stitches in there too.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And it might even be one that I'd wear. I don't know.
I think if you pick the right colors and it's, I just think that's really... There
is something about the black and white.
See, that one's got black, white,
and blue. That's really pretty. Yeah. But I do. I really like the one that...
Yeah, I need to find out. I'll have to look and see where she got
whose yarn from. That is. Yeah.
To see.
Okay, now I'm going to be able to tell you guys because I have it in my...
So she used Sun Valley Fibers, MCN.
Haven't heard of that.
You haven't heard of Sun Valley Fibers?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
I have heard of them. I don't know where you get them, but I've heard of Sun Valley Fibers. So 6 colors. You need 6 colors or 133 yards of fingering weight in each of the 6 colors. So not a full skein, right?
Wait, how much?
133 yards per.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. So
I think I would have enough.
Yeah.
And she has this one too that's called Simply Fun, and it's kind of the same, but I like the other one better.
Oh, that's a cowl.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I'll show you guys that.
Oh, that's very fun.
And I'd probably like it better if save these. I just don't care for these colors that she used here.
Yeah,
the dominance of the purple. Just, but there's plenty to choose from. But I think I like the other one better.
Yeah,
the one that you're looking at right now.
Yeah,
it's just a fun. Very, like you said, it's very striking.
It is. It's very striking. It's not, it's very bold. What's the opposite of bold? It's I don't know. Anyway,
subtle?
It's not subtle. It's very, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm buying the pattern now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So.
Well, I had bought a couple skeins of yarn. This one I showed on Carrie's and still haven't done anything. I didn't think I would though. It's Dandelions and Daisies. And it's Pacific Northwest is the colorway.
Pretty.
And I know that I already have colors almost exactly probably like this in my stash. But I mean, they're blues and greens. I love them.
Yeah. If you know what you like, it's like, it would probably be like me with pinks.
Yeah.
Like,
and I love pinks
how many
too.
pinks do you got?
A lot,
It's like, but hey, there's different shades. There's different whatever.
I should look this one up though to show you guys because you can't really tell on this one. This is Night Owl Fibers Be Mine.
That's pretty. That's really pretty. I think I like it. Yeah, I definitely like it better in the picture.
Yes.
I do.
See, that's just the thing is when I saw this, I was like, why did I order that?
Yeah.
But I know I had to really like it. But when I looked at that, it's like, oh, that's why I ordered it. It's really pretty.
It is really pretty, striped up. I love when they do that, when they show you, because it's like,
yeah,
see
this
it now.
doesn't do much for you.
Yeah, it's pretty, but
It's okay, but
in its striped form, it's really pretty. Yeah, because I wouldn't have known it had that cream color in it. I mean, there's a couple little blips of that cream, but not much.
It's almost like there's a section that's a little bit gradient.
Yeah.
And then it's got the bolder, the blue, and the darker on the ends. So
very pretty.
I did buy one other thing. Well, I recently... This is so stupid. I don't know if you guys remember, many years ago, I had all the signature needles, every size, and then I sold them all.
Yep.
Well, now I love them again. Oh. And now they're going out of business.
Are they really?
Yes.
Why?
The gal put out some statement talking about changes in life and stuff. And of course, I mean, we all applaud people when they recognize that they need to make a change.
Yeah.
I don't know this, but I can't help but think that it's probably a little hard to compete in a trying to have a high quality U.S. made product.
Right.
You have to charge those prices.
It's true.
And the needles that you can get for a lot cheaper. I mean, I love Chow Goose.
I know.
And they're a drop in the bucket compared to,
That's true.
So I'm not dogging one or the other.
Right.
I really like the signature needles.
I know, they are nice.
So then I got this thread and maple little case for it. So I haven't labeled my
pouches
yet, but these are my cables. And then I've bought all the needles that I'm buying because I have a couple size 1s and 2s, maybe 1.5. But as far as these, I have everything except the 9 and 10 because I don't use those sizes.
Yeah.
I really contemplated getting the 9 because one thing I love is I got the cable that turned these into 16-inch.
Oh.
And it works. That's what I have my Cowl on.
Oh, nice.
Because I was thinking when I saw that little cable, I was like, that's not going to do it. I'm not going to be able to knit with it.
Right.
It's totally fine. It's great. I did get the 4-inch, which... So this makes me feel better about the ones that I sold to rebuy them. I previously had the 5-inch ones, and I went with the 4-inch this time because those just fit better in my hand.
Yeah.
But so I was really happy that they do actually work for 16-inch.
Oh, good. Good.
So
nice.
Anyway,
very cool.
So. Yeah, I was really sad to see that. But when I started looking at, okay, what would I use a 9 for? I know I'll never use a 10 again.
Right.
I just know I'm not going to. I don't knit with bulky yarn. It hurts my hands. So I went on, I was looking at different, I thought, well, the only thing I can imagine using a 9 for would be a hat. So I looked at some hat patterns that use 9s, and that's all chunky yarn. And I tend to knit a little bit looser anyway, so anything calling for a 9, I could use an 8.
True. Yeah.
So, because when someone's going out of business, you feel like, well, I got to get it before you can't get it anymore. Yeah. So I did an inventory of my cables because with signature, each cable is specific to the needle size.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucked. But it is a flawless seam. I think I'm good. I placed one more order, just getting a couple more cables to fill in some holes that I had.
Yeah.
But because part of me was like, well, I should probably get every double point,
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Don't be insane. It's okay.
So what made you decide to do that instead of buying the fixed signature?
They don't have fixed signatures.
They don't have fixed.
Except for their sock sizes.
Okay, maybe that's what I've got. I have a couple different sizes.
They used to.
Yeah,
like when we first started, they had them, and then they went to the interchange. They called them convertibles.
Okay.
I'm already talking about them like they're gone. They used to call them convertibles
back in the good old days.
And you know, I think they're fun because they're different colors.
They are. They're very fun,
and their tips are really nice. But it's always sad to see an American-made business go out of business. Whether it's, you know, I mean, I'm sure she has legitimate reasons.
Yeah.
I didn't read too closely her reasons because I don't really feel like she owed me an explanation.
Right.
She didn't write it specifically to me. So
it's not a personal letter.
It wasn't a personal letter, although
she can go ahead and send that if she'd like.
Yeah, let's talk about this a little. She did say that she'd be open to serious inquiries of anyone that wanted to buy it. But again, I think
how do you
you're
bring the costs down? I know, that's the problem,
People want to be able to afford to
knit and eat.
And pay their taxes or, you know, whatever. Or their rent. I mean, their house pay, whatever. The list is endless. Right. They might need some teeth. Right. You know? Yeah, so
there's other things to spend money on.
There are. I'd rather buy the needles in the cases than the teeth, obviously, because that doesn't hurt me.
No, exactly.
Those aren't going to affect my sinuses unless I shove them up my nose.
Which,
and I can absolutely guarantee that I will never shove a knitting needle up my nose. You have my word.
Okay. Well, I shoved my finger up my nose the other day when I was in the shower. I was washing my face. I was like, so I got out of the shower, wiped my face. There was blood on the towel. I was like, oh my gosh, actually made my nose
I
bleed.
know, that is so funny because I've done the same thing.
Yeah, fun times.
So we're not making any promises that foreign objects won't be up our nose. I'm just going to say it's not going to be one of my signature needles.
Yeah, and you're not going to try to do that.
I won't do it intentionally.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure everybody's very glad.
Relieved, yes. Everyone can sleep better and know that if they don't see us for several weeks again, it's not because there's a hole in my nose. It might be because
a piercing, maybe. I don't know.
No, but that could work. You need a really big, thing in there.
That'd be pretty painful. Not the way to go.
We're definitely not advocating for that. Don't start a hashtag with it because we won't be participating.
No. I'll talk about this really quick.
Oh, do
so I ordered this Woolfolk. I
forgot how much I love Woolfolk till you brought that over.
It is so soft. So I just want to make a hat. There was a hat, and it's in my pictures. I don't even remember. I have to look for it. But it's just a basic beanie type hat. So it's
you thought you did two of them?
Or
you just want to be safe?
I think I want to be safe.
Okay. Which one is this?
This is Far. Woolfolk Far. And the color is 05. So it's just so freaking soft.
It's so soft.
Oh, man. So for a hat,
it takes me back to that one sweater that when I ruined, I should have just bought the Woolfolk again instead of knitting it in that other stuff. Yep. And now I don't even want to knit that sweater again because it's on the 10.5s or whatever. I just don't want to deal with it. But
I still love that sweater. Yeah, it's probably one of my favorite sweaters.
That sweater.
Yeah.
I should just do it.
You should.
I should.
You should.
Oh, but then I'll have to get on and order the signatures and all the different 10s.
10. I think it calls for 10.5.
It does, and like a 10.75.
Yeah, because I think we had 10s, but we were like, I don't know, 10.
And I bought all
me too.
So I definitely wouldn't buy more needles to do it. I already have. I mean, I could.
You'd be tempted.
I would be. Okay, there you have it. I'd be tempted to.
And you'd be like, it's worth it because for this sweater,
for one sweater, I probably wouldn't do it. And by the time I bought the Woolfolk, that would pretty much spend the money that I.
That's true. Yeah. Yes.
Being that I gotta buy teeth and all.
I know. Yeah. Priorities here. You know. Teeth or signature needles, I don't know.
Or Woolfolk.
But you can always get a new tooth though. You can't always get signature needles.
The problem with that theory is that you do only have a certain amount of time before that whole bad things start happening.
Really?
Yeah, you don't have an unlimited amount of time once the tooth is gone.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because things start changing and stuff.
Interesting. I do remember that because I know my dad, he got his teeth pulled and then he had to wait I can't remember a couple weeks and then that's when he went to get him. Maybe. But I felt so bad.
Yeah, and then the other thing, just to belabor it, is you go and get those screw things in, and then you have to wait again a bunch of time to get the actual crown, the special crown put on. So this isn't fast and easy. But anyway, let's go back to
let's
happy
go back
things.
to nice, soft, squishy yarn. Yeah. So anyway, love it.
Okay.
This is like a charcoal gray. I don't know, blackish gray.
Oh, it looks
really, really
great
pretty.
to me.
But yes, it made me, when I got it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I love Woolfolk.
Yeah.
Like I remember bragging about it. If I was on a deserted island, I'd take Woolfolk. Now it's linen quill.
No, this is great.
This is like butter.
This is on par with that one by Miss Babs that I love.
Yeah,
it's just that nice. It's just so
so nice and fun and nice to knit with too. So yeah, I need to get that on the needles.
Well, do you want to show the picture? Or do you think you can find it? Because we'll be wrapping it up, so we can start wrapping it up, and then you can find that picture.
True. I just don't remember how far back I would have to go. You know?
Oh, so this wasn't a recent.
I got the yarn a while back, and then my daughter went to Vegas and sent me all of her pictures, which I have on my phone. And life's happened. Okay, and I don't know if I have the name, or if I just have a picture of it. So it's just, I liked it because it was just slouchy, just a slouchy
and
beanie.
There's no end to the amount of hats.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's kind of a basic. I do have the pattern, but I don't remember where. And it called for Woolfolk Far. That was one of the reasons I picked it too. Was I was like, but it looks like just a basic ribbed hat.
Yeah,
I think there's nothing like.
Oh, I just love this.
Special, but the softness will be the yarn and the.
Yeah, you don't need any special. Oh,
it's called here Riker hat. Okay, I did take a picture of it. Yeah.
And what size needle is it on? Does it? I mean, do you have the whole pattern?
Yes.
You've got the whole pattern there.
Yes. 2 skeins of Woolfolk Far.
Oh, you were right.
And then 9. Size 9.
At 9, needles. I need the 9.
See, you're gonna have to.
I can totally
You could. Yeah. But it's just your basic. Yeah. Basic hat.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll be fun.
Nice.
But yeah.
All right.
That was my only purchase. I was
fully endorse that purchase.
Yeah, I was like, it's worth it.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
To break my yarn buying fast.
Well, a fast is good.
And it's been good. Yep, it's been good.
Yeah.
I've curbed my spending because I was out of work for a little bit, so I curbed my spending, which was good. It almost it broke a cycle because I felt like I was in this cycle of just spending, buying yarn, buying whatever.
It's easy to get into
getting
those
on
cycles.
Amazon and like buying stuff. And finally, I was like, it really broke that. So I feel like now that I'm back to working and stuff, I feel like I won't be as tempted to buy stuff. Hopefully.
And a lot of things, like I see a lot of pretty skeins and stuff, but it's like, and this would be one of them. I didn't need to buy this, but I liked it because it was the Pacific Northwest. But like I could have, and I do think about this when I see one that I like. I'm sure I have a skein just like that. But with the Woolfolk or something like that, especially when you're buying a nice solid color that And
for a small project, it's not like I need 5 skeins of it.
Right.
I just need 2. So I feel like justified. Like it's for a specific pattern. It's the specific yarn that they called for.
It's not just going to go sit on a shelf.
No, I think I'll wear it because it's going to be so nice and soft and squishy. And
I do hats a lot. I wear hats a lot, and I need to knit. I knit that one hat several times, and the last one I sent off to Renata's boyfriend.
Did it fit him?
Yeah, I actually just asked her. I said, "So, are you going to recycle that yarn, or what's going to happen?" And she said, "No, he thinks he's going to keep it as a hat." But I haven't seen any picture. Of course, I mean, it's like super hot there. They're not going to stick a hat on, but
right.
We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I have a hard time with sizing of hats. It seems like that's something I need to put a little more effort into because for one thing is choosing the right hat pattern and what do I like, I'll just have to look at the hats that I have and which ones that I like. I almost always seem to knit them too big.
Yeah.
So I need to kind of figure out.
Well, I think that'd be perfect then for you if you did do that pattern, just to go down to a size 8.
Yeah.
So that would probably help a lot, obviously. But yeah, I just like, I like basic hats, usually slouchy basic hats, because then you can wear it as a beanie if you pull it down more, or you can wear it with some slouch. So it's just versatile. And I like the color because I feel like that'll go with anything if I wear it to work.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, because I showed that finished hat the last time I think we recorded, but I didn't put it on.
Yeah.
And I know Kay, our Morning Thaw Knits friend, she was like, I was telling you, you didn't hear me, but I was telling you to try the hat on. So I put it on and sent her a picture. And I'm like, this is why. And she's like, yeah.
Was it too? It was
it
too
just
big?
didn't look good on me.
Oh, okay.
No, the first one I knit was way too big.
Okay.
The second one I knit, it just didn't look good. I think it was too small.
Okay.
So, and I also think I just don't think it was the right style for me because I absolutely love that hat, the Desert Dancer. It was super fun. It just wasn't the hat for my head. So
it's true, and depending on your hair, but you have great hair. You've got long hair. I've got short hair, so I have to be careful with hats.
With shorter hair, you do have to. But your hair is long enough that you can have the hair out on the side.
A little bit will come out, so it'll be fine.
If you don't have that, then it does make it a little more difficult. I remember that struggle when my hair was short. Trying to pull that little bit of hair just so something is tucking out.
I have some hair.
Exactly.
It's there, I promise.
But anyway.
I
think that's all we have.
Bridge is closing, so I'm going to be cut off from Michelle.
We almost didn't do this today because Leslie asked. We were going to do it yesterday, and then she asked, well, could we do it Sunday? I know. She asked how much longer it would take to go the other way to get here if the bridge was closed. Well, when I left Leslie's last time, if you remember, on my way down not the interstate, but the I-205, the Glen Jackson Bridge, the one that I would normally go over for the most direct route on the Washington side down to Oregon. It was the northbound lanes were completely closed. There was some police action. I never did find out if it was a jumper or what, but I knew that traffic was going to be bad. Once you close down a lane, it's hours of. So when I left last time, when I got out to 205 to the freeway, it was already backed up south of where I would have got on by your place. So I knew I will drive 5 hours out of my way to not sit trapped in traffic. I cannot stand that feeling. So I ended up going down how you would have had to come if you couldn't take the bridge. And it took me almost 2 hours to get home that day. And that's just, it was fine because I wasn't stuck in traffic. It took me down like in areas that I used to live before we moved out here. And so it was really kind of fun to see all the changes that have happened over the last 4 years. There's just, it's like, to me, time has stood still because I've been out here. Things don't change out here, you know. Things change like, okay, we don't have our chickens anymore. One of our lambs died. I mean, those kind of things change, but like, there's not new buildings going up anywhere. There's not, there's no growth out here. So
it's slower.
Not necessarily a good thing, but it's a very much. You go down there and it's like, oh my gosh, this place looks so different. So it was. I had that entertainment, and then by the time I got over, through Portland, and that part was icky. But then when I got onto Highway 30, then it's just a nice, pretty drive. It was. So I didn't. It wasn't like I wasn't all stressed out that it took that long. It was far more appealing than sitting in that stuck traffic. But I didn't want you doing that because that would make a long.
It makes just for a long day. Day.
When your round trip commute's like 4 hours,
4 or 5 hours. And then you're sitting to podcast for an hour and a half, 2 hours. It's like just a lot of sitting. But
anyway, So our that bridge is finally closed. Oh, but anyway, so I was saying let's just wait till after the bridge closes. But then Michael pointed out that the bridge isn't closing till 8 o'clock tonight. So
we got in under the gun.
Got it under. Hopefully, you can get out of here. That it won't be backed up for miles with people making that last trip to Fred Meyer before you can't. I do. I feel like we're being cut off from
civilization.
And I can go. I can go Highway 30 and go through St. Helens and Scappoose. It's not that big a deal, but. It's just
the thought.
Like Rebecca, my youngest who lives, over there, I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to
get to her.
I mean, Renata lives on the other side of the country. And, I've learned to accept that. But, 10 days, I'm not going to be able to get across the bridge. And it's not like we get together all the time. I go stalk her at Fred Meyer just so I can see her. I guess that's kind of weird, but.
I do the same thing.
So. Anyway, but. So hope you guys have a great couple weeks or a month or whatever. And
hopefully we'll be back in 2 weeks, but the bridge will be not quite opened yet, right?
Yeah, it'll probably be 3 or so.
Yeah.
I mean, the bridge isn't going to be closed that long. It's just when it opens and how
traffic
works out with everything.
So hopefully we'll see you in the next couple weeks.
Yeah. So take care.
Yeah. Hope you guys stay cool and enjoy the rest of your summer.
Yeah.
I always feel like after 4th of July, I feel like summer's over, even though it's not. But I don't know why 4th of July just always feels like.
I definitely don't feel that.
I don't know. I always have. I don't know why.
I know you have.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I guess maybe it just zooms by after that, and then kids would get back to school.
Well, I think that, I mean, when you had the kids going back to school, that was different.
Yeah, she's starting to get ready for school supplies. You start seeing that in the stores.
Oh, yeah.
And school clothes shopping.
Weeks
all that
ago,
kind of stuff.
I was starting to see the back to school stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. In fact, I said something just trying to be nice. I wasn't even, like I had my most happy, because I know I have the resting bitch face. I can't help it. This is how God made me. Oh, I totally do. But, and so I don't have one of those sweet voices, and it's not that I'm unhappy. I mean, I'm a happy person, but I just don't look it or sound it. I was at Freddy's the other day, and the gal was putting out all this back to school stuff, and I said something about, oh my gosh, back to school already, and she's like, it's not my decision. She was
my
like,
fault.
She was so defensive, and I was like, maybe people have been dogging her about this, but
it's okay.
It's okay. I'm not complaining, I swear.
Now, if you had Christmas stuff out right now, then I'd be mad, but no. That's coming up, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All the fall stuff will be coming out soon.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, it will.
I haven't been to Hobby Lobby lately, but I'm sure they probably already have.
You think?
Well, it's the next holiday, right?
We have to craft ahead.
4th of July is over, so the next major holiday is
Halloween.
I mean, Labor Day, in September,
yeah.
but there's no decorations.
I'm not sure there's a lot of quilts being made for that, or, I don't know.
So.
I'm not a quilter, as we already established.
Yeah.
So, anyway. All right, well, we'll see you guys when we see you.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.